Hey guys, Mario's just teasing you about being on time.
Hello.
Hey Samuel, how's it going? So thank you everyone for joining us.
You
We
are
have
lagging.
Lisa and Samuel here from Germany. We're very lucky to have them because they're super busy people and they very graciously have donated their time and effort to doing this interview with me this afternoon or this evening in Australia. So very happy to have you both. Thank you both for making time.
Yeah, I just woke up just for you. I would just slept 2 more hours.
Yeah, Mario already wrote.
Mario. Samuel, yes.
How has quarantine been for you guys? How's the pandemic been?
Well, we always try to see everything positive. We're using our time for things we didn't have time before. We preparing trainings, we're preparing online stuff.
But in the beginning, it was kind of hard because we just moved to Amsterdam, and after 2 weeks, everything get closed, and then we decided to go back to Germany. And now we're staying at my dad's place, where he and his girlfriend are living. So, yeah. But we had the chance to build our own studio in the basement, and now we can train. And
but at least you guys can dance together if you feel like it, hey? And it seems like you guys are being really productive with your time. So you can at least be creative together, whereas a lot of people are stuck in isolation on their own.
Yeah, right. This is a big chance for us.
Yeah. And how is it going in Germany? Because like obviously in Australia where I am, they've just closed the borders, so no one can come in or out. But in Europe, you guys have opened the borders now?
Some borders are opened, some are still closed. It depends also to which country. But classes start this week. This week it depends on the state. Some of the states they already opened classes since 2 or 3 weeks. In our hometown Freiburg, they starting classes now this week. Of course, they have some rules, some restrictions. They only people who live together in one household can dance together as well. Otherwise, you need to have single classes.
Yeah, so you're just doing shines and like body movement initially, unless you live together.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same in Australia. They passed in my state. They're allowing classes to start tomorrow. So shines, but no partner work yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you guys like? So initially it's such a crazy move for you guys because like you said, you lifted up your whole lives and it's a huge decision to move countries. You had to move schools. You're changing your whole environment. And I know you guys, Super Mario.
Actually, I saw Mario doing some shines a couple of weeks ago.
No, really?
Yes.
Really?
You never see him doing shines?
No, I don't see him doing shines.
He's killing everyone, even Adolfo. Just doesn't want to show because he hates them.
Yeah. So how did you guys come to the decision because you're already in Amsterdam. You were there and set up, and I know it took you guys like a long time to find an apartment that was reasonable, and you had work set up and all these plans, and then all of a sudden like it had to stop. It had to change.
There was nothing reasonable about the price of our Well, I mean, this life, it sucks. But we moved already to Milan before. For us, I think dancing is the most important thing, and everything we can do to move, to learn, to get better, we will try to do. And as soon as this pandemic is over or gets better, we will definitely try to go back to Amsterdam or to any other place where we can improve.
When the borders open again and it becomes like easier to do so.
And also to teach again, because when we don't earn money, we can't afford it to spend our time in Amsterdam.
No, Amsterdam is too expensive. Really.
Yeah, I've been there once and it was really expensive, but I was doing lots of touristy things. I wasn't trying to live there.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's already expensive, but the rent is
crazy.
something else.
Yeah.
we paid, I think, like 3 or 4 times the money we paid in Germany, and our city was already one of the more expensive ones in Germany.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man. So we might get stuck into the questions. Some people have written in some questions for you guys. You have a really big following in Europe, which is really nice because I think you guys are great artists and you put a lot of effort and heart and soul into your craft as artists and dancers. And what I really appreciate about the two of you is you're constantly upskilling. So you don't get stuck sort of in this artist mindset where you don't need to learn anymore. And I think one of the things that makes you both stand out to the public is that you continue to learn and upskill. So you guys said just before, like you've moved to Italy and you were training in Milan, you're in Adolfo's Mambo Magic team, and you've like traveled around Europe taking classes with people. You guys have been to Cuba a couple of times to upskill like your Afro and your ballet like dancing. So how long have you guys been dancing for?
I started dancing ballet when I was 4, and I'm still dancing ballet. And we started dancing salsa 7 years ago, and we met one of our first classes. I think in the second salsa class we met, and our teacher told us to dance together. So that's how it started.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I started with 16 or 17. I did one of my first ballroom classes, the traditional ballroom class you do in Germany. And then after 1 year, I started with hip hop. Actually, I was dancing 5 years hip hop, like a lot. And when I moved to Constance to study at the university, I met the guy who had the salsa school, and he told me, "Come over to my salsa dance school. You will like it." I went the first day. I did the whole 4 classes. I came the next day. I did 4 classes again. And I think the following week or the week after, I met Lisa, and from there on, somehow we started to train one day, and then we are here.
And that's where it started. So what is it about other places around the world that made you want to go there? So why did you guys go to Italy to start training, and why did you go to Cuba?
I think we both want to know kind of every style in salsa because it gives us the possibility to dance with everyone. So we want to dance Cuban and mambo and everything we can learn. And we thought it might be the best decision to learn all this mambo stuff in Milan because there's Adolfo, and we had a great opportunity to have like 4 classes a day at Fernando School and also with Adolfo. And Cuba is perfect for all the Afro stuff and for contemporary, and we are a lot of fusions in our shows. So we want to improve every style.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's salsa. It's one culture. It's one music, and inside this salsa music, which it also already says, it's a source of everything. Is so many different things, and we love everything about this music. There are some people, they say they don't like Cuban music or they don't like this boring mambo stuff. For me, in each style, there's so much beautiful music, which makes you want to dance. And sorry, there's some weird thing popping up. I just want to dance on every music. I want to know how to dance on every kind of music, and I think it's very important to understand this culture, to understand where it comes from, where it will go, and especially there are so many steps in Afro. They are also now included in Mambo shines and stuff, which have a deeper meaning. They have also a religious meaning, and I think we should at least pay a bit of respect to the people who are still practicing this this religion, that we should learn about it before using it, or at least learn at the same time we're trying to use it.
So why did it become important for you guys to learn about the history of it? Because that's something that maybe isn't typically shared in every class. So someone had to give you the importance of this information? So who was it that did this for you?
For me, I think I started this with hip hop, because in hip hop is so important to understand the history, to understand where it comes from. I think this was my hip hop teacher who pushed me in this direction. He always also told me I have to invent my own style, create my own style. He did a lot of basics, and he always said, try to do your own thing with these basics. And I think I came with this mind into salsa, and I wanted to do the same. I want to understand the music. I want to understand the culture, where it comes from. And if I go to classes, I always will try to do things on my way. Like if he does a suit you, I'm not gonna. Well, maybe I'm gonna try to do it like the teacher does, to understand what he does, and then I will take the parts I like and take the parts from another teacher I like and put them together and try to create my own style. That's at least for me.
And actually, when we went to Cuba, all the teachers were telling us a lot about the history, and then I realized how important it is for the culture to understand everything, not just the steps, not just following the class, but to get to know everything around. Because yeah, it's the culture of so many people, and I think it's nice to get to know more about it, to respect it.
And I think that's one of the things that a lot of students really like about the two of you, is because I've done a few of your classes over the last few years since we've known each other, and you always say at the start of the class, we're going to be doing this step, it means this, it comes from this place, it's important to know these things if you're going to be doing it. So you guys are big advocates of what you say you actually do as well, which I think is really admirable. There's a question here from a dancer. And it's come up a few times when you guys perform. They want to know why Lisa doesn't wear shoes when she performs.
Yeah. So I like to dance in heels, but it was always like this, that I really like the connection to the floor, especially when we do stuff. I really like to be on the floor.
And
a lot of
contemporary as well.
Yes, contemporary as well. But a lot of people keep telling me I should wear heels because I'm a girl and it looks nicer. So let's see.
And Lisa's really stuck on this. No.
Because I remember being backstage with you in Berlin Salsa Congress last year, Samuel, and someone was giving you feedback about your show, and they say, oh yeah, we really love the show and the musicality and what you're doing, but like you have to wear shoes. And then like I came past sort of at the end of this, and then she walked away, and I said, was she like giving you feedback for your show? And then Samuel said, hey, if this is the only thing she doesn't like about my show, I'm happy.
But let's see what the next show brings. And hi, James and Maria. We love you.
From England. You naughty badger. I hope you're doing well.
They had to postpone their
wedding.
Their wedding.
Yeah, it was really tragic.
We'll try to come next year.
Yeah, next year.
Yeah.
No, but they don't have to send a new invitation that gets accepted.
No, we're just coming.
We're gonna party.
Do you think you have such a, like, you enjoy dancing barefoot because you have the Afro training as well? Do you think that's a strong association to why you enjoy being barefoot? Because a lot of Afro training is barefoot.
Yeah.
For sure, yes. Yeah.
And you guys incorporate a lot of Afro into your routines.
Yeah. In salsa dance, I like to dance in heels, but also for classes, I prefer to do it in sneakers, actually. Because yeah, I don't know. I like the feeling of it.
I really like to dance naked, but on social
not so appropriate in classes.
No, I just do it at home in my room, in my dark basement room.
So I haven't seen it yet, so don't ask me.
A lot of online classes could be like this. You could just wear the t-shirt, and no pants. And for interviews as well.
Yeah, you don't know what I'm wearing here.
There was a question here, and I would love to get your feedback. What would be your top 3 tips for dancers who want to improve their dancing? Top 3 tips.
But Okay, for me, these things are always difficult because there are so many different aspects in dancing. We have the show part, we have the social dancing part, and the shines part. So um, for me, it depends.
Let's
There's
say social dancing. If you want to, if you want to improve your social dancing.
Well, for me, the technique is the most important part that we understand how we leading, especially the leading technique. And unfortunately, a lot of teachers don't explain the technique, especially on congresses, because we have such a short time. They just want to show the combination, and they reduce the technique and the explanation of why we're doing stuff. So for me, especially the turns, a lot of people they push during the whole turn, and the idea we have for leading is that we show the girl that we want to turn her, and I give her the impulse, so she starts turning, but I let her turn alone. Except I want to do, of course, multiple spins. I have to push because she cannot walk it. Every turn she can walk, she has to walk on her own. And every time I'm pushing in some direction, will make her fall to one side because I'm pushing her out of her own axis. But girls can walk, so they can also turn the walks alone. So I think that's the most important tip number one for me.
I'm just thinking about how I improved my dancing. When I lived in Milan, a lot of private classes with Marco Faravelli from Latin Soul Dancers, and he's very conscious about all the techniques and partner work. And I did it like maybe twice a week, and that helped me a lot to improve with a dancer who's very strict in his technique and knows what he's doing, and just keep doing it every time. So I think it would be nice to have a partner with who you can train and telling you exactly at what point something get wrong. And as a girl, you also feel all the time actually what is nice, what is not nice, and like this you can grow together. I think that's also we improved a lot.
It helped me a lot.
Yes.
We always, when we start training, usually we start with social dancing, and every time something is weird, she tells me like that was weird, and then we try and see what is better, what feels better.
No, we don't try. Actually, someone tells me then, no, it was your fault.
Well, in 90% of the case, no. I'm kidding.
I think this is common for a lot of dance partnerships.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
to
a
have this debate.
No, in the beginning she helped me so much because she's really good in following, and it helped me so much to train with her that she can tell me this feels weird, this feels good, or this plays better. So I think you should go back to the basics and train everything with a partner, and you both tell each other what is good and what is not good. So you getting conscious about these things.
Yeah.
So communication between the person you're training with is really important.
Yes.
Always.
Do you guys let other styles influence your salsa?
Yes.
When you're like in regards to social dancing?
In social dancing?
Especially you, I think.
Yeah, well, in the beginning, because I came from hip hop, I did a lot of hip hop things. I think I lost a lot of this, and now I'm starting to getting back to it. We also taking classes in hip hop, especially in house and locking. And I think especially house has a lot of things we can use in dancing. Not so much in partner work, but at least footwork.
And I think I use a lot of ballet stuff regarding my arm styling in social dancing.
What about your spins? Because one of the things that I really appreciate about your social dancing, Lisa, is how light you are when you're spinning.
She's...
No, just, Yeah, ballet technique helped me a lot for sure, but the technique is a little bit different because in ballet you have really straight legs, and in salsa you are always bent. But like in your is everything the same in your body? Everything is the same while turning. You have to be very compact, and yeah, your frame has to stay when you turn. Ballet helped me a lot, but it helped me also a lot to just keep practicing turns with Samuel.
Yeah, there are also different spinning techniques, so it depends. There are spins where you tap the whole time to keep pushing the step. There are turns where you close the legs and the guy has to push you. And I remember especially when we went to Milan, we trained a lot the tapping technique because this one was new from us, what Adolfo and Tanya did at this time. We trained this a lot and fought a lot about this.
Yes. It's giving very hard to all these turns. And when I'm turning, I never think that the guy has to lead my turns, but just that he has to show me how many turns I have to do. And I'm always thinking I have to do it on my own. So that also helped that you don't have to carry me like turn after turn, but I will do it for myself, and you will show me when I have to stop.
Yeah, she's an independent woman.
Yes, I'm independent.
Sometimes she's doing things I don't even lead. Like she's like, no, I can do it now.
So if people wanted to improve their salsa by dancing other styles to help influence their salsa, what styles would you recommend they do?
Other styles to get better in salsa?
I think hip hop and ballet. Hip hop because of the flow. I always thought about me that I'm not cool while dancing, and now we are taking hip hop classes. I started hip hop like 1 year ago. And I think my groove improved a lot because of this. Yes.
Do you feel like hip hop gives you a certain confidence that you probably don't get with other dancing styles?
Yes, also, and also this bounce, the softness of your body from hip hop. It helps also for Afro, I think. And the technique helps you a lot for if you want to do shows. It helps you a lot for the lines and for the tension in your body. So I would say ballet and hip hop.
Yeah, for me, I think salsa is a style where, especially in the beginning, you learn arms and feet. You don't do a lot with your body, especially in New York style, in Cuban maybe, depending on the teacher, you also do a lot of body movement already. Hip hop is from day one, you have to move every part of your body. You get a whole different level of consciousness about your body and how you do it. And as she said, the groove in all dances is the most important. You can do a movement without the groove and with groove, and it will look completely different. What a dancer, what makes a dancer is how you move your chest, your center of your body, that you incorporate every part of your body. If I do everything correctly, but it will look stiff or weird if I don't move my whole body, and this really helped me in hip hop. When I came to salsa, I think it was easier for me to catch up with things because I only have to do arms and feet, not head and shoulders and chest and hips and what else.
Yeah, so one thing that's really impressive about you guys is not only are you like rising stars in Europe and you're starting to get a lot of international work, like every weekend you guys are booked doing congresses or boot camps or workshops like here, there and everywhere, but you're also teaching at a school during the week, at least before you move to Amsterdam, and you're also both finishing degrees.
Yes, but it means no time to sleep, no time to eat, no time for friends. No, really, it's crazy. We start our journeys, our travels most of the time on Friday. We come back on Monday midday, and then we try to sleep a little bit. And Tuesday morning at 8 o'clock, I have my first stuff at university. So that was crazy. And then we had to teach Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and Friday we go. And we also have to do our shows. We have to do rehearsal. We go to ballet. We go to the gym. We go to the hip hop classes. So it's crazy.
Well,
Crazy life.
for me, my university doesn't go that well. Lisa, she's almost done, but I'm studying since 2013. So it's 7 years already, and I still didn't finish my bachelor, which you usually finish after at least after 3 years. So something went wrong. But for me, my bachelor degree was never that important. The dancing part was always more important. On the same time, I'm also a photographer, so sometimes I have photography work, and I do all the videos and photo things. We post on Instagram stuff. So while Lisa is studying, usually I'm trying to edit our videos or photos, or doing different things. So yeah, we're busy the whole time. We don't have that much time for family or friends. Most of our friends were from dance scene in the end as well. I was really lucky living with really nice flatmates. I was living in a house with 5 others. Also, one of them was my cousin, so at least I had one part of my family with me. And with them, I did stuff when I was at home.
So because you guys are so busy and you have so many like responsibilities, how do you find balance to stay sane? Like, how do you not go crazy?
What do you mean crazy?
Less crazy.
I think the most important, first of all, is having a healthy lifestyle, or try at least to be as healthy as possible. So we go to the gym, we try to eat well. During the week, I sleep a lot to have more power for the weekend. But especially in the period between September and December, we always ride on the edge of getting sick. Last year, we were super sick.
Especially in the end, around December, it's like we are done.
So is always kind of living on the edge, and it depends also on how you're attending the festivals. Slowly I understand how these superstars, or why these superstars are appearing only for 1 hour at the party and then leaving. Because if you do this weekend, and some of them, they even have 2 festivals on one weekend or 3, it's impossible to keep pushing yourself. Also, during the week you're done. You cannot train anymore. And if you see people like Adolfo or Fernando Sosa, they're training every day so much. If they would go the whole night to the party, they would die in 1 year.
But I think we are both crazy about social dancing. So we haven't figured out how to do it yet.
I think that's one of the things that you guys are very well known for, is being there like at the start of the party, and you guys go all the way till like the morning, or like very, very early in the morning, like before the party finishes. And that's one of the reasons that you guys are both such good social dancers. Like, there are people lining up to dance with you sometimes. So all of your hard work is paying off in this way, because you guys are always there, right?
Yeah, that's very nice.
Especially for us, it was in the beginning, we were thinking on how we can get more festivals, how we can get the organizers see us, and we were thinking what kind of things we can do that they think we should get invited. And one is social dancing, one is the show, one is the teaching, and the media appearance. So we're trying to push on every part. Because I think is important. Yes, as you said, social dancing is for us the most important. We love social dancing. That's why we started. That's why we keep going. Second thing is for sure teaching. We really love teaching. We love to give workshops and have other dancers growing. The same as we constantly trying to grow and go to classes on festivals as well. And because the shows in the beginning, we were not that fans of shows. We didn't like it too much. But now, actually, I'm really enjoying it. It comes with the time that you can enjoy your shows. So we try to push on every end.
So I know you guys had a few projects in the works like before COVID-19, but do you guys, what's the future for you? Because obviously you're going to move to Amsterdam, but what were your plans in regard to dancing once you got there? What did you want to do?
In Amsterdam?
Yeah.
So one of the reasons we wanted to move is Faria DC, because we really love their style and we want to improve also in this direction. We love the city. There are so many open-minded people, also in the dance scene. So I think there could be a lot of cool projects regarding other dancers. And pop scene is very good, ballet scene is very good. So it's just around stuff to improve. This is actually, I think this is, for now, this is our main goal, to improve. Or for me. I don't know, for someone.
Yeah, I mean, we really loved our city, Freiburg. It's such a beautiful city, but it's so small, and there are not that many cultural things happening, especially in the dancing scene, even though we have a lot of dance schools. And Amsterdam is just a whole nother level. It's a big city, and it's 500% culture. There's so many things going on in especially dancing wise. Some of my favorite hip hop dancers, some of my favorite locking dancers and house dancers live there. They have also a big Afro, the Afro house or Afro beat scene. And I really love to take classes again. And in Freiburg, we came to a point where we just went to ballet classes and once a week to the hip hop class, but on a different level as well.
But the hip hop school is very good there.
Yeah, it's a really, really cool. But for example, also the freestyle scene was not that big in Freiburg as well. And then we checked all the big cities we would like to go to, which dances are there. And for me also it's important that you can go by bike. I love the bicycle, and if I have to take public or depend on public transportation, this is kind of impossible for me. And so Amsterdam is a really nice city to go by bicycle. You can reach every part in under 20 minutes. So this was definitely a plus point too. And
it's a really nice city, and you guys are right. I've been to your city a few times, and I really liked it. It's almost got like a bit of a village feel to it because it's so quiet. And I do appreciate that you guys made time for me when I came there, even though you're so busy, both of you.
Always.
I want to take the opportunity to open it up to the people that are watching. If you have a question for Lisa and Samuel, you're welcome to write the question in the comments and we'll get through them as they come through. There's something I want to ask you guys. Do you think that after like this pandemic now, do you think that there will be some changes to how the dancing scene is operating? Do you think there'll be some changes to dance when everything goes back to how it was?
Yes, I think because everyone figured out that social media is also good to use to get some online classes, access to online classes. I think it'll kind of stay, because now, maybe not in like this, but now we have the possibility to learn from someone from New York or from Mexico, and I think that could stay. It might stay.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good way for especially for the big artists to earn additional money. So I'm sure they're gonna keep going to do this. They're gonna go back to normal classes, of course, because it also feels completely different. I prefer to have normal classes, but the possibility you have with the internet is incredible. I mean, you can have a class theoretically with 1,000 people, which would be never possibly in your own school.
Yeah.
So sure they will try to keep doing it. And also for us, I mean, it's nice. We are here now somewhere in Germany in a little village, and we can take classes from New York, from Milan, from Amsterdam, from everywhere in the world. So I'm sure that it will keep a bit at least like this.
There's a really good question that just came through. Two really good questions came through. James and Maria sent one through, but I want to ask this question. How do you two balance your friendship with your working life? Because I know that you guys live together, you eat together, you train together, you travel together, you perform, social dance, teach together. Like, you guys are literally living in each other's pockets. And every time we hang out, like, we always have such a good time. But how do you balance the working life with the personal life?
If I'm annoyed of her, I just put her back in my pocket.
No, I think we're to learn to realize for ourselves when we need our free time, and then we can tell the other one. But I think the basement, or the base is that we really like each other. We are very close friends. We can tell each other how we feel without being mad on the other one. So, yeah, it's still a process.
So the most important thing you have to know about Lisa, if she's hot, she needs to pee, she's hungry, or
that's it.
That's it. Then she don't touch her, don't ask her anything, just leave her alone.
Yes.
Give her something to. But in this case, it's better to stay away as far as possible.
This is good advice.
Yes.
And what about you, Samuel? Do you have anything when you find that you need your own time or space?
Yes, sometimes, but because of our sleeping schedule is a bit different. I go a bit later to bed. I always have like 2 or 3 hours in the night where I have space for myself, and in the morning I sleep longer, and Lisa has her space.
Yeah, I wake up earlier than Samuel, so I have 3 to 4 hours in the morning for myself. So until now, it's fine.
Yeah, but it's something new, right? Before we didn't live together. We just were on the weekends and during the day together. And I could go home to my place, she to her place. So it's the first time now that we live together for longer than 1 month.
Yeah. But so far, what do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You hold up a help sign, help.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think you guys have a really good living arrangement, because you gave me a quick tour of your house last week when we were talking, and it's like a really big place, so you guys have lots of space.
And there's also a garden, so we can just go outside and be for ourselves. That's very nice.
I think this is really fun that we have such a big space. Otherwise, if everything is small and close together and you don't have your own place, it will get more difficult. So we are very fortunate to be here, and so
I'm a little bit jealous. I want to come and stay there.
Yeah, come.
Yes, with 2 summers, I'll handle 2 summers. No problem for me.
I think that's why I have a much bigger social media following now, because people think that I'm Samuel. So when I'm in Europe and they see when they see me in Europe, they go, "Oh, that's that German guy. He's the really good dancer. He dances with Lisa," and they follow me. So it takes them a while to realize that we're not the same person.
Maybe we can take some pictures together, Jay.
Yeah, that'd be great. We did it for Fatty's event. We did it for ABCD.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, the video, right? Hey, my name is Sam.
I'm someone. There was a question there from James that I want to get to. What do you guys think of online congresses? Because they're sort of popping up everywhere at the moment. Do you think that's a really good thing?
I think yes.
It depends. I mean, money-wise, it's a bad thing, because so far I've seen only free online congresses. Well, we all have to live from something, also the organizers or the dancers. So we did also one online congress. I think it's a nice concept for having it once a year, something like this, or maybe 2 or 3 times a year. But we spending so much time in training and getting better. The organizers spending so much time in organizing congresses, bringing all these artists together, doing the websites and everything, that they have to earn somehow money. Otherwise, the quality will be lower. And if the online congresses get to a point where the attendees have to pay, I think it could work.
I think there are already online congresses where you have to pay, but I think this is only one perspective. The other perspective is that a lot of people don't have the money to afford a room, all the flight plan,
Flights, hotel.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So they just can't afford to go to congresses. So for them, it's perfect. You can learn from in your living room from the teacher you want to learn. So
yeah, that's definitely a plus point. So everything has his advantages and disadvantages. Yeah. So it's a good and a bad thing. It depends, but in the end, it's a social dance. It's it lives also from the contact. Yeah, if you want to learn something, the congresses are good, online congresses, but in the end, we also need offline congresses.
Yes, to connect, to enjoy the people, to enjoy chatting. Yes, whatever.
Chatting.
Yes.
My bro's dropping like all these really good questions. I think he might start taking my job as an interviewer. How do you guys come up with your choreographies? Like, talk us through your process, how you pick a song, how you decide what steps to do where, like talk us through your choreography process, how you guys create.
I put the gun on your head and said, you have to take
Yes. No, the most difficult thing is to find a song.
It's the song is there's so many shows on songs which have this part where everyone is like screaming and you as a dancer you have to do nothing, then just like now this is the part, and then I'm like So if you have a good song which is versatile, which has ups and downs, that's 90% of the choreography. So we spend most of the time searching a good song, and if we have a good song, it goes like this, the choreography, the ideas, they pop up really fast.
But how we do it by step, we in the dance school or in wherever, we put the music and say, okay, how do you feel? What part do you want to do today? Then we do a loop in it and we just start to jam a little bit. And it's always surprising us how it works, because I'm doing something and someone says, oh, that was cool, but let's do it like this. And then we have already 10 seconds of the show. And no, it's actually very nice how we work together choreographing.
Yeah. Yes, so we try to do different things on the music. For us, the most important thing is that it fits the music. We are not these persons who take the song and we count how many 8 counts it is until this part, and then we say, okay, turn the music off. We do now 8 counts, and then we just fit on the music. No, we always try to do something which fits the music. If there's an instrument coming out, how does this instrument sound? For example, now we just choreographing our bootcamp show. We will start on Tuesday. There's one part where the trumpets do brrr, and we do like brrr. So we're trying.
What does the trumpet do?
Yeah, can you show again?
What does the trumpet do? Okay, got it.
We'll try to do something with the music, and I think if for example now the last show we had, the Cuban one, we started to choreograph on a different song, and after 2 weeks we said, I told Lisa, I don't think it works, let's try another song, and I showed her the other song, and I said, I'm gonna cut it until tomorrow and then we can decide. So I cut the song, and the next day we went and start choreographing, and we had more after 2 days than in the 2 weeks before, because we were inspired so much more by the music. So I think it's really important to find the perfect song, and a song that inspires you, and if it doesn't work,
you should change the song.
Yeah.
So what would you recommend to people that are trying to create a choreography? How would you recommend that they go about finding a song that they like? Where can they search?
The songs come in different ways to us. So one song, for example, I saw it used for another show, and I liked it so much, and I showed it to Samuel, and he liked it. Then sometimes when we go social dancing, we hear a song that we like. In playlists on Spotify that we don't know yet. It's very difficult to find a song, I think.
Yeah, I mean, the problem mostly is that on socials they also play kind of different songs than what you use in shows, because shows usually are a bit faster, or they're happening a lot of things, and a lot of teachers don't play these things because it's too stressful for the people to dance on them. So it's difficult to find. What I also do, because I'm also DJing, is that sometimes when I find a song on a party and I'm buy it later, I check the whole album, or I check recommendations from iTunes, which now became music, not iTunes anymore, which I really hate, because this is the most stupid thing ever. Apple! But yeah, there are different things. We also, for example, the song now Cachita, I bought already 2 years ago, and we went just through my iTunes list and through her iPhone iTunes list, and the songs we liked. And then we asked Dimitri, because the quality was really bad. We asked Dimitri if he can send us a good quality version of it.
Cool.
Dimitri is the best, yes.
One of the best DJs.
Yeah, I know you guys are big fans of him. There's a question here, and I think it's related more to how you teach classes. Like, how do you guys divide up who does what in a class when you go and teach workshops?
What do you mean?
If we do partner work or footwork, partner work, Samuel is explaining all the leading, obviously, and I will do the steps for the girls, the tension stuff, and styling. But I can also do the leading. So when we go around and check all the couples, we both know the part of the other one also. So we can give better tips. For work, it depends. Sometimes there's only one microphone. And most of the time, Samuel takes it. I don't know why, actually.
You always say you can take it.
Yeah, maybe that's why.
That's true. You do say that. I've been in your workshops. You say, "Oh, we only have one microphone, so I give it to someone."
Yes, I'm so nice. Yes, I'm a very nice person. But if we have 2 microphones, we divide the footwork into 2 parts, and we will teach it like this.
And you share.
Yeah. And if we have one microphone, she still does the warm up, or she comes to my microphone and says something.
Oh, I will scream. Yes, I will find a way.
I really like your voice of the other day.
So I have to share this with everyone because I think it's really funny, and I do this to Lisa sometimes because I think it's really funny. So Lisa has this like infectious laugh. It goes a little bit high, and if Lisa hears her own laugh, she can't stop laughing. It's really funny. So I sent them a voicemail the other day, and it was supposed to create a lot of like drama, so that they were very interested to hear what would happen next. And I sent them like a voice message. Oh, Lisa, you never believe what's just happened. Like I just woke up and I was having a coffee, and then like I'm just watching this thing on TV, and oh my God, it's so incredible. And then I pause and I leave it for a little bit. And then I do Lisa's laugh back into the phone.
She's laughing again.
So there was some other people asking, when are you coming to Australia? When's that happening?
In August, if the flights are coming. In August to surf. Actually, I was a kitesurf teacher as well, so I want to come to Australia.
This is yours. This one right here.
And I'm coming to Jai's house. I will stay there and
cook the whole day and sleep.
I'm surfing then.
See you, James. See you, Maria. Yeah, we would love to have you here. So as soon as the borders open, you guys have to book flights and get over here.
Yeah, it would be nice.
Yeah.
Doodle, yeah. If Doodle runs, we'll see.
You don't have the time, but I hope now in August we would have time because most of the things are cancelled. So maybe if flights would be possible already, we would come maybe, hopefully.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a couch here for you guys, and you guys are used to living together, so I think it will be okay.
I will let you sleep on the couch, and I will go to your bed.
Danke schön. It's very, very generous of you. Thank you. So, because you guys, I know Samuel, you're very involved in the musical side of things. Like when I went to your place, I know you have lots of instruments, and you're trying to actively learn more about the music. I'm not sure if Lisa's doing this because I've never been to Lisa's place, but
No.
I know Samuel's doing that.
I will invite you.
No, she won't.
It's the same place now, so it's the same house. It's the same. How was the importance of music? How was that given to you, and why did you start learning to play?
Yeah, I think music always was very important for me, especially in hip hop, or also before. I really loved music. I listened a lot of music. And in hip hop, it's so important to understand the music and to understand the different instruments. So when I came to salsa, it was kind of the same. Plus, one of our first teachers, actually our second teacher, Anichi, is a musician as well, and he always explained a lot in the class. And his little brother did an percussion group in the school as well. So I went to this percussion group to learn. And I really felt like learning more about the music, understanding the different rhythms. And it also helped me to dance better because I felt the music in a different way. I listened to the music in a different way. So from this point on, I really wanted to learn everything about music, and I still want. The difficult thing about it is that there are too many opinions telling different things. So you always have to search and find the most common one or the one which makes the most sense to you. So even if we are teaching, I usually tell the people that this is what I learned, this is what I believe. Maybe there are different opinions about this, maybe it's not the truth. So try to check different people, try to understand, and you will get better no matter. So we try to teach the right thing, but it can happen that we make mistakes because also the sources we were learning from are not always reliable.
One of the things that I appreciate a lot about when we talk about music occasionally, like when we're traveling together or talking on the phone, is you say that music can't be black and white. There are always shades of grey, because when the music, salsa music in particular, was being created, they didn't have the internet as like a source to go and refer to, and some of the teachers weren't available to some countries. So people were only creating music based off what they hear and then recreate and then maybe make some changes. So it's common sometimes in other songs for the lines to blur a little bit, and it might not be typically one type of salsa because it has these instruments in it, but that because they didn't know about it at the time, they were just creating things based off what they hear, right?
Yeah. And so, also, one of the DJs, I don't remember who it was. I think it was Mauri or Willy. There are records where the mistake is on the record. Like DJs are playing this record on every congress. You know the song, and if you listen closely, there is a mistake on the record because they didn't have the money to redo it again at this time. So they just digitalize the vinyl, and they're playing it all over the world. They sold it all over the world, and there are mistakes on this. So in music, as the same as dancers and the musicians, they don't know everything. They're trying to learn. They start at some point, some records in their earlies, and later they understood, oh, that maybe this was wrong, and is always and something new, like we dancers also do. the cha-cha bell to a normal salsa song, or they play the cha-cha bell, and they're trying new things to create something new. So so you cannot tell 100% this is this style, 100% this is that style, because sometimes they have a part of this inside, a part of that inside. And especially in Cuban music, they mix so much. They have such a big orchestra nowadays in this timber music, and they just throw in everything they know, more or less, and make it nice. Yeah, so they have different rhythms. They created different rhythms, songo, timba, whatever. They have so many things coming together with the clave of rumba. Then they play a really nice mambo tumbao or whatever. So they mix so much. To say this song, that style is difficult.
Oh, you.
Sollen wir es auf den Schirm stellen?
So there's one thing about music that I want to ask you guys.
Sure.
If there's so much misinformation about different types of salsa and different types of music and what instruments need to be in certain songs to make it that type of song, and people want to learn more about it, what can they do? Like, where can they go? Where would you recommend that they start learning?
Come to our classes.
No, there are a lot of DJs and also musicians who are also dancers who give workshops. For example, DJ Mauri, Anichi gives great lessons. Then
Talk with people.
Yes, we talk to people of Tromboranga, for example, people from orchestras, especially musicians.
There are a lot of Cubans also. They know a lot. The difficult thing with Cubans is that they explain in their own kind of way. So, and they're sometimes a bit too proud. But for example, Joannis from Paris, Joannis Tamayo, he knows a lot. And also, especially from London, Osbanis and Aneta, he also knows so much. So I always try to talk with people when I have the chance to. If I have a question, I ask them. Sometimes I write them on Facebook and ask them if they can explain it to me. We went to musicality classes. We did one private class with Tromboranga, with Joaquin from Tromboranga, to learn about music. Also once with La Maxima, Zorro.
Fabrizio.
Yes, Fabrizio from La Maxima. We also did once a class with him. So we're always trying, well, in the end, is you take from everywhere a piece. There's no go-to.
I want to ask about cha-cha. So cha-cha's one of these styles that it came a little bit after salsa, and it's really hard to get like a regular cha-cha class at schools. Why do you guys think that is?
I think there was a time they had more cha-cha classes in schools. It's like one of these trending fashion dances. It comes and goes. Before there was also a lot of merengue, but now there's no merengue at all. I think cha-cha is slowly starting to grow again.
And if the DJs are playing more cha-chas at the parties, the people might be forced to take cha-cha lessons again or want to learn cha-cha again.
Yeah.
Because now I think there are 2 cha-chas in one night. It feels like this. So people have no reason to learn it because cha-cha is not played a lot.
They're not playing it so much.
In Vienna, they play it. They have to play at least once per hour cha-cha. Yes. At least. So in every set the DJ is playing, they have to play at least one cha-cha. I also think because cha-cha is more difficult because it is on 2. You have to dance it on 2. And a lot of beginners especially have problems with dancing on 2. So it's for more advanced dances only. So
I don't know.
Or they start learning on 2 from the beginning, then they can do it. I mean, it always depends. If you start teaching them, we started doing it now in our advanced on 2 class, that we do the warm-up with cha-cha.
Mm-hmm.
because we told them always it belongs to the family. You also have to know cha-cha.
Yeah.
You tell them like this. You have to learn cha-cha.
And people were like, yes, yes.
Yeah. So I think cha-cha is a really good style from an education perspective because the basic step alone has already 10 steps.
Yeah.
So it's not like a normal salsa basic, which has less. So you need to learn about syncopation if you want to learn to dance cha-cha. When you guys moved to Milano, was that when you first started dancing it more? When you went to Italy?
In what? On two?
Cha-cha. No, cha-cha.
No. Cha-cha we danced it before a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we started learning on two when we moved to Italy. Or Mambo, New York, Editores on two. We learned dancing contratempo or son or palladium style or on 8.
At Adolfo school, or with Adolfo rather.
With the on two with Adolfo and the contratempo with Anici.
Mm-hmm. And is Anici schools on 2, right, in Freiburg? They're teaching everything on 2? It's on 1.
One.
Okay.
There's, I think, one class right now who is the musicality class, and they are doing contratempo there.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that I think make the two of you very unique, because your teachers in Germany are teaching styles that aren't very common, like for dancers to get at schools. So I know they're teaching a lot of rumba, and they're teaching contratempo, and they're teaching like afro.
Yeah.
And it's challenging to get that at your everyday school, but you guys are very competent in all those styles. And I think that adds a lot to your flavor and your style as social dancers and competitors, right?
Yeah, we were very lucky to have Anne and Anici as teachers in the beginning, because
they also teach a good base, and from them we got this, or at least me, I got this idea of taking more contemporary classes.
Yeah.
And so I'm not a fan of ballet or contemporary class. Actually, contemporary now I like a lot, but I'm not a fan of these ballet classes. But from them I understood how important it is, especially if you want to dance shows. And I think we learned a really good technique base to go to other classes and learn really fast.
Mm-hmm. Why don't you like ballet?
Because it's stiff.
Because it's so difficult and it's so hard.
Yeah.
You need so much tension, and someone is always bouncing around.
People making. I'm not a fan of ballet, but people making fun of ballet that this is for pussies, but actually this is for the real tough guys. It's hurting so much. It's just pain, and it is really, really hard.
I have to tell you one story. I was in the ballet class with a lot of all the ladies, and with Samuel also, and all the ladies were always like, oh, it's so exhausting, and someone was the same. Oh, it's so exhausting. They were like one group. He belonged to these ladies.
You always have to integrate, You always have to integrate. But you will never hear Lisa complaining like she could die, but she just wants to show you that it's no problem for her.
Yeah,
it's like,
right.
No problem. When you don't look.
Her feet are bleeding, but she's not saying anything. She's still going.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like this, yes. I have to learn it to say that.
So, do you think that the salsa world needs to have more afro, more rumba, more pachanga, like more of these specialty styles at congresses instead of like just shines or partner work?
I think that it depends, first of all. You have Cuban festivals where they have a lot of Afro, and you have these mambo things where we are in now in this mambo world. For me, I don't make any difference between Cuban, between mambo, between anything. I dance on every kind of music. I want to dance on every kind of music. I don't make too much big difference of partner work in Cuban and partner work in mambo. If it fits the music, if the girl can follow it, I will lead whatever I want. If it's fitting the music, that's the most important, but it needs to fit the music. So I think, yes, we should learn every style on every congress, but there are also congresses who targeting a special group of persons who, for example, don't like Cuban or who don't like mambo. So it depends. For us, we start with Cuban dancing. We are Cuban dancers, but
You can see it.
yes, especially on my skin color. But the problem with Cuban festivals is that they usually invite only Cubans. They only invite Cuban dancers or a Cuban with a non-Cuban girl or non-Cuban dancer. So we don't have work there at all. So we just got pushed more into this mambo festival scene, and now we're mixing there. I think we were one of together with some other dancers, one of the first who mixed this style. I mean, not like a few steps, but like did it the whole time, everything. Now in the last years, in the last 4 or 5 years, even Adolfo is doing a lot of Cuban now, a lot of Afro in his shows. He takes classes with Cuban dancers. So I think it's going already in this direction, that there will be more Afro in our festival scene.
And I think the more styles you can dance, it gives you the possibility to create your own style, because you have such a big repertoire to use for your dancing. And I think you can take whatever you want, and then maybe find the more you. I don't know how to say, but create your own style even better.
So in order to come closer to what you're more comfortable dancing, do you think there should be less segregation between the styles? So an example I give you is in Zouk. In Zouk, to the same song, they'll dance maybe 4 different styles or 4 different tempos to the one song. And I feel like in salsa, there'll be a song and someone will say it's a mambo song, so you must dance mambo, or it's a Cuban song, so you must dance Cuban, or it's like an on one song, so you dance on one. So do you feel like we should be less strict with this and dance more how you feel?
Yes, definitely. I think people came to this idea of that there is a Cuban song, which already is a wrong term, because to say I don't like Cuban music means that you also don't like the mambo music, which came from Cuba. There are so many Cuban, Celia Cruz, she's Cuban. So there's so many songs, mambo songs, which are recorded, which are made in Cuba. So you cannot say I don't like Cuban music. That's already a wrong term.
I think most of the people mean timba then when they say I don't like Cuban music, but they just don't know about all these little differences.
Yeah. So
for those people listening, what is the difference between timba music and mambo music, so that people know?
So this one is a bit of difficult. So mambo music is also a really small style of music we have on the festivals nowadays. Nowadays on the festivals, they play a lot of son, they play a lot of different things, pachanga, whatever. They play a lot of things, and mambo is only a certain style. Timba is a bit difficult to explain, because it has more to do with the kind of instruments they're using. The orchestra in total is much bigger. They introduced a drum set. They have a big drum set as well, which usually in a traditional son group or in the timba, in the mambo group, you don't have, where you just have the timbales and maybe some percussions. But now in timba, it gets a more like a rock kind of way, and they bring a lot of different rhythms inside. So it's more a mix of everything. And timba, you also have songo, which a lot of people confuse with timba, is very difficult to understand exactly. In the end, I think in every song you have so many different things, so many different styles, and that you always should know about every style. And I also don't like this kind of separating between styles. For me, is always the music and me and how I make a move. I can do a Suzy Q in Cuban. I can do a Suzy Q in in mambo way. So depending on the song, I do it more Cubanish. I do it more mambo-ish. So there's not such thing as a style if I'm dancing my own thing, because for me it's just me and the song. But of course, if you teach, you have to say, okay, this comes from mambo. This is more mambo style. If you have the hands more like this is typically mambo. But if I'm dancing, I do this also on a Cuban song if I think it fits.
I think we should stop thinking like this. This is Cuban. This is mambo. This is this. This is this. But it's salsa. Salsa is a mix.
Short and sweet answer. I like it. So from a follower's perspective, Lisa, so because Samuel can lead, so Samuel's got a little bit more to say about how a dance will go. You as a follower, if someone is interpreting, like, I know you can follow anything, like you're a beautiful follower and a social dancer, but if sometimes you feel like you could be doing more in a song, will you break away and do your own thing to show someone, or will you always follow what they want to do?
It's it's difficult. When I'm teaching and people are asking me questions like this, mostly I say I follow my partner first and then I will connect to the music, but actually it's not true. I always try to do my own stuff also in partner work. Of course, I'm following because I think it's a social dance first and I will concentrate on my partner. But I can also use my steps, my body movement while dancing in partner work to interpret the music somehow. But I will always focus first on my partner. But this is my decision. If a girl wants to connect first to the music and then follow the partner, it's also right.
I think this is a reason why you're such a good follower. It's because you have this mindset before you even start dancing.
It might be, yes. Thank you.
I think it's also something different if me and Lisa dance together, or if she's dancing with someone else. Right. With me, she's doing a lot of stupid things.
Because I feel like I can do whatever I want because it's someone.
Yeah.
Who cares? Who cares what Samuel thinks?
Who cares?
That's one of the things that I really like about you guys from an artist perspective is one thing that you're very professional and you take your job seriously, and from my perspective you're very appreciative of the opportunities that you guys get. But what I really love about you guys, and I think it's maybe why we get along so well, is that you're not taking everything so seriously. And like the work is work, and that's very important, but you guys are still happy to muck around and be silly, and you don't mind like doing embarrassing things sometimes. And I think that makes you very personable to people. Don't blame it all on Lisa. It's you as well.
Yeah, but it's mostly her. Just for the record.
We all know it's mostly me, yes. But someone is in this with me.
Unfortunately.
So do you guys do that consciously, or like, because I know that you're approaching it from a very professional perspective, but when do you think, when you go to congresses, do you think, okay, we can have a relax now, we can muck around?
I think it's that's our character. Like even if we're not on the festival, we are mocking around a lot. I think especially in Lisa's family, it's a lot. Now that we live with her father, I can see definitely where it comes from. He's mocking around so much. So I think it's how you take life in general. You can take everything serious and have a hard time, or you can try to make the best out of every moment, do silly, stupid things and be happy. And with Lisa, it's easy to be happy.
And of course, you're taking classes with someone who dances in a very nice way, who has a nice style. But I think the personality of the teacher is the one thing that keeps you want to grow with this one. So I think this is also why I think people like us. I hope people like us, because we are just, most of the time, we are happy.
Yeah, we are not superstars. We are dancers and people like everyone else. And if we like someone and we can make fun with him, why not doing it? Yes. We will enjoy it as well.
So how did this come out in your teaching? Because like when you're learning to teach, you obviously take you take after some of the teachers that you had and teach in the same style. When did you notice that your style of teaching started to change or go in different directions?
I think I always tried it from the beginning. When I noticed, I don't know, but I always tried from the beginning because of hip hop, as I already mentioned. I always tried to do my own thing, do my own style. When I do a step, I always try to make variations of it or do it in a different way.
I think I noticed it after Milan because the scene was so different than what we experienced before in Freiburg or in Germany. I think it changed after Milan.
And how do you guys get through like the barrier of teaching in different languages? Because obviously, like one thing that I think is really impressive is between you guys speak like 4 or 5 different languages, right?
So luckily, I had the chance to live for 1 year in France when I went to school. So my French is okay-ish. Then Samuel speaks Spanish, yes, and I understand a lot of Spanish. Unfortunately, I don't speak it very well, but because of all the Cuba travels, I can understand Spanish, then German, obviously, and yeah, we
learned Italian when we moved to Italy. We took classes before we moved, and also when we were there.
Because we went also to university in Milan, so we had to learn Italian. Yeah, so we can say grazie and prego, and that's it.
Un cappuccino per favore.
Tutto a posto. And your English is getting better too.
Also this was also the reason why we wanted to move.
Thank you for traveling with us.
Oui, Paddy.
Paddy K.
Yeah, I also speak a bit Arabic.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, for Paddy.
Harek Tisak Paddy, behabak habibi.
You guys know him. He's a guy in Germany. He lives in Mihai City, Darmstadt, and we were in Vienna together at the same time. We had 1 day before the Congress started, and I've been learning German for maybe 10 years, very badly, but I try to learn more. And we're walking together down the street, and he says, I said, oh, I asked in German. I said something in German, and I said, oh, Christian, would you mind correcting my German for me because I want to improve? And he says, oh, yes, of course. And if you like, I can also help with your English. Yeah, he's a really funny guy.
Yeah, he's really funny.
Oh man, it's so much fun. Like I think when we were in Europe together, or when I was there at the same time, we did like 6 or 7 festivals like in a row together.
Yeah, there was
like every weekend, and it was really amazing.
Yes.
So I'm looking forward to you guys coming to Australia so we can do the same thing. But I guess you'd just be living with me.
You have 6 festivals in Australia?
We have 2 festivals per month.
Oh,
More than Germany.
No, I don't think so. In Germany, we have too many.
Too many. You have Berlin Salsa Congress.
No, we have, at least in Berlin, we have already 5 congresses for salsa. Then we have 500 million for bachata and kizomba.
At least.
In Stuttgart, we also have, I think, like 3 or 4.
100.
We have 10 every month.
10 per month.
No, I think because we are separated between bachata festivals now and salsa festivals and kizomba festivals, we have a lot more. But I think in Australia you don't separate that much, right?
Yeah, we do. We don't have any marathons, and I know Germany has a few marathons. They have like a bachata marathon or a mambo marathon. In Australia, we don't have these yet because we don't have a big enough population. But we have bachata festivals, like separate, 2 or 3 separate. We have 2 separate mambo events. And the biggest thing in Australia is the competitions, actually. We have a big competition scene here. So a lot of the competitions in Australia are qualifiers to go to the World Championships in America. And that's something that I wanted to touch on as well, because before you guys started doing your like traveling artist work, you guys were competing as well, right?
Yes, I wouldn't call it compete. Yes, we did some competitions. It was the German Salsa Championship, and for us, it was important to get the title one time. So we can say yes, we are German Salsa champions, because it doesn't mean so much for us, but for a lot of people, it means a lot. When you could say, well, these are dancers, or wow, they are German Salsa champions. So that was the reason why we did it. But actually, we are both not really into competitions, and also our style is not really fitting the competition style. I was dancing barefeet also in the competition, so it wasn't one that I won.
I think the competitions are good to have a target, especially in the beginning, to train for, to start starting your career. But for me and Lisa, you have to do a certain style to be successful in these competitions. It's also a lot about politics. And we don't like this about the competitions thing, especially also this competing between each other. If we go now to festivals, it's not about the competing that much. We have a lot of friends there. We are good with everyone. We love hanging around with them, and it's more about the art of dancing. You can do whatever you want in your show. As long as people like it, you're good to go. But in the competition, you have certain rules. And since I'm a person who has problems with authorities and strict rules, I'm not that good for competitions.
Yeah.
Would you like to see certain changes in the dancing scene? Because I know there's like a lot of competitions are super strong, and there are a lot of people following this way. And I feel like that happens a lot in Australia, and it happens a lot in America and in South, where the competitions are like really big. But in Europe, I feel like the competition scene is a lot less, and it's more about the artistic side of dancing.
Yeah. I think it's also very nice to have a lot of competitions, because in Australia and also in the US, there are so many strong people doing this competition style. It's very nice. It's like very sporty. But it would be the perfect mix to get both together. Very strong, sporty dancers, but also have this very artistic way of developing their skills.
For me, competition sometimes ruins a bit your own style, the dance itself. Then it becomes more a sport competition, which is nice, especially for techniques and for clean dancing. But for me personally, I love more the style, to have your own style. For example, one of the best dancers for me is Franklin Diaz, because of his unique style. He has flow, and I feel in competition it's a lot about fast footwork and a lot of energy, even though it's not always fitting the music. So if you watch Franklin Diaz dancing, sometimes it's a bit weird what he's doing, very artistic, but sometimes he's playing with speed, he's playing with flow, he's playing with force, and then relaxed again. And this switches between, this is so incredibly nice. And I feel like sometimes a lot of shows, it's just about fast things, a lot of speed, a lot of turns, and crazy acrobatics, which for me personally is not dancing. Acrobatics is nice to have if you can do it, to have like a few accents in the music. But in the end, if someone is doing the most craziest acrobatic, of course I'm there, wow, crazy. But I would still appreciate more a guy who really dances with his whole body.
And Dimitri is also there. We just talked about Dimitri.
Oh, you just missed your moment, Dimitri. With
We get you a shout out.
Yes.
Next time, you'll be able to watch it on Instagram. I post it on TV, so everyone can share it. Would you guys? What do you think the scene needs more of? What do you think? Like, if you go to congresses or go to classes, what do you think the salsa scene or the Latin scene in general could use more of? Would you like to see some changes?
Ob du sehen willst, also was es mehr geben sollte in der Szene.
Samuel's teaching most of the classes in English, but needs to ask Lisa for the translation.
No, I didn't understood one word, and I was wondering if you were talking about something else, but I understood it right already. I just didn't hear it.
Okay.
I think they're starting with the new concept of these academies where the classes are longer than 1 hour. I really like this, but it only works if the teachers work together or the teacher really builds up something nice instead of just doing more in the same class. I think on the festivals, many times it's because of the restricted time you have, is more about doing a lot or showing a lot or showing off or just doing a lot instead of having these, which is also nice, which I also like. But I think to have a more progressive learning, these academies could work really well if they are prepared well, if you really make your mind up to what people have to learn, what is missing. And I think especially Super Mario, for example, is focusing a lot of these things. For example, he says there are a lot of people, they don't do left turns. So he is teaching a lot of left turns in his classes. And if he's feeling that something is missing in the dancing scene, he starts to teach it more. So I think we need people like him to understand what is missing in the dancing scene and really explain it step by step, especially for new people coming into the scene. And I feel like a lot of the other classes, they are more on the high end already for the very advanced dancers. And they just do a lot of things without explaining the proper techniques, the proper basics. And yeah, I mean, they invite big artists. They want to teach them advanced classes. I can understand it, but sometimes these big artists could do such a nice basic class because they really did it for so many years. They know what is important in the basic. They know what. So I wish that they would do a few more basic classes. They would do more technique classes. And yeah.
And besides this, I would love to see. I think the crowd, the salsa scene. Yeah, really. The crowd in salsa is already very open-minded, but I would love to see more advanced dancers dancing with beginner dancers and mixing a little bit more around, and that it's not about showing off, but more about having fun all together. Not important on which level you are, and staying, being kind to everyone, because sometimes I feel there's some not disrespect between beginner dancers and very advanced dancers, and I don't like to see this.
Or artists and social dancers.
Also, yes. So that everything is more appreciated.
Would you guys like to see, like, what do you think of the marathon concept? Because I never went to a marathon before I came to Germany. Do you think there should be more marathons?
We only went to one marathon, the one in Heidelberg.
Oh, really?
Okay, someone went to another one also. Basel, right?
Yeah.
And I loved it. It's only about social dancing, but I think you should have also artists. So only marathons, it's not working, because they need teachers to get you to a good social dancer. So without all these classes, without maybe getting inspired with shows, we would lose a big thing. Part, yeah, a big part of the salsa scene.
So I want to open it up again to everyone who's watching. If you have a question for Lisa and Samuel, you're welcome to put a question in. And we'll probably get close to wrapping up the interview soon because it's been an hour and a half. So I'm sorry if you're just joining us, but these guys have some stuff to do afterwards. So if you have a question for Lisa and Samuel, you're more than welcome to put the question in the comments section and we'll get through it. You guys have a boot camp coming up. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yes. We have a show boot camp on Cachita. And we will fuse with pachanga and mambo footwork and afro steps. And it will start on Tuesday. We have 4 days. It's always Tuesday, Thursday, Tuesday, Thursday. And after these 4 days, we will put all the videos that the people send us on one screen, and it's like one performance online. So if you're interested, just send me or Samuel a private message and we will send you all the infos.
Yeah, and just to understand again, we do the classes via Zoom. We will record the whole class so you can rewatch the class and learn it again if you want to. We're going to send you the counts and the video with music. And everyone can send us after every class a video of themselves dancing, and we give you personal feedback because sometimes it's hard to do it through Zoom. So we can focus and rewatch the videos a few more times to see what you could improve. Because I think in real life we have more possibilities to give you a feedback, which is now difficult through the online classes. But we try to do our best to give you the same experience you have in the classes.
And we posted already a first video of the show, a small part, and it's on my account and also on Samuel's account on Instagram, and all the infos are also below if you want to check.
So if you're not already following Lisa and Samuel on Instagram, you're more than welcome to go onto their Instagram pages. It's Lisa Volga and Samuel Kramer. So go and follow them on Instagram so that you're keeping up to date with everything they're doing. Do you guys want to say anything to everyone before we finish up?
Thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Jai, for having us.
Yeah.
This is me.
Interesting questions.
And thank you also for doing this interview stuff also with other artists. It's very nice for the community, I think, what you're doing. So it's highly appreciated.
Yes.
It's really nice. So I want to say thank you for everyone that joined us, and a very big thank you from myself, because I really appreciate your time that you take out of your day to share with everyone. And I think that you two are such good people to talk to about these sorts of things, because you actively continue to learn about it. So you guys have a lot of knowledge and a lot of experience, mainly because you're so open to keeping these things alive, the importance about music and history and all of these things. You guys concentrate a lot in your classes, and I think that shows in who you are as people and how you are as dancers, and I think you guys have really bright futures ahead of you. So thank you very much for your time, and looking forward to seeing you when I'm back in Europe or when you come here.
Yeah, me too. I'm really looking forward to see you again, Jai.
Thank you. Yeah. There's a question. Do you guys dance pro-am, or do you not have this type of competition in Europe? We don't have this type of competition in Europe.
No.
We don't compete at all at the moment. Maybe one day we will do it for interest or fun, but we don't like competing that much, because we like more our artistic way of dancing, which usually don't fit that well into competitions.
And then I think in Europe it's not that common to divide it into pro or amateur, so we don't have these parts, this division.
Yeah, the Stargate competition is everyone and their mother can compete.
Yes, yes.
At the same time. Teams, partners, solo, couples.
Pro, doesn't matter.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
No.
So thank you very much, guys, for your time. Enjoy the rest of your day, and stay tuned for the next interview, which will be next week.
With us?
Maybe a private one.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Ciao.
Ciao, Christina. Ciao, Autumn.